to take a little bit, this is going to be a little bit different from the presentations. You guys will get a chance to talk about my experiences using iPads in my peer teaching class last semester. So if you guys don't know much about it, I taught at the Perspectives program with a co-teacher. We had 14 first-year students, and we were focused on movies. So we used Disney animated films as our way into the movie industry. And we had 4 iPads for 14 students, so we were often splitting up in small groups of 3 to 4 students, which worked incredibly well for us. So it let us get some small group work done. It let us keep laptops out of the classroom, which was really great because I'm sure many of you guys realize that when you have a laptop, it's really easy to kind of lose yourself in Facebook and miss out. And since we only had a short time with them, we wanted to really focus on discussion and learning. So these are sort of my experiences with a couple projects using the iPad. So what we did with them is we did the No Cut movie. No Cut movie, if you've never heard of it, you get half an hour and you make a 2-minute movie. You shoot in sequence because you don't get any time to edit in the movie. We thought this was a good project for our students because we wanted them to learn about camera angles and sort of the thought process of what goes into a movie. Obviously, when you make a budget film, this is not how you do it at all, but they had a great time. They wandered around campus, showed us some great movies. Unfortunately, I deleted them all when I switched over to the new iPad, so I can't show them to you. But they were really cute, really successful in a variety of themes. And it was a really good way for them to show their learning in a different method. So some of our students were a lot more quiet than our other students. And this was a way for everyone to get behind the camera or get in front of the camera and not have to be talking in front of 14 of their peers. So it was very successful with them. And the reason why the iPad worked so well is because it's an all-in-one bundle. So we gave them their iPad and we said, go make a movie, and we gave them 4 different themes they could choose from, and they were able to sort of map out their plan, use apps like Bamboo Notepad or drawing apps to sort of draw what they were going to do some research, go on Safari, and then they were able to take it and actually use the camera controls with the iPad. And they wandered around campus and took some of them were in Tisch, some were on the Res Quad. So there were different places with the iPad, so it was really successful for that. There are a few drawbacks. The iPad obviously is not the world's greatest camera, so it wasn't really wonderful fidelity, and they couldn't do anything with really zooming or anything, so they were creative with doing over-the-shoulder shots and physically moving it. So they got creative with how to work around it, which is really good problem solving for them. So in all, obviously it was my first time teaching a class, but the students felt this was a really successful project because it was something different and a new way for them to show off things that they had learned. So the iPad worked really well in this case. The other things we used, because we were doing animated movies, we wanted them to learn how to animate. If you guys have ever tried animation before, it requires hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drawings to get a short sequence done because you have to do every little movement. And this is where the iPad is fantastic because the iPad, it has a multitude of apps, all different skill levels, that let you create these animations. So for our class, we were actually practicing with the art of animation, but this is a great app for any classroom because it's another way for students to show their learning without having to get up in front of a class. And if they don't think very well through a paper, they can make an animation. It works really well. One of the great things about a lot of these animation apps is that you can actually import pictures or take photos, so you don't have to be an artist to use the apps. So I do want to show you guys an animation app, which, again, this isn't one of my students' works because I deleted them, but I think this is actually very cute. This is the default that it comes with. If it will play. So this is very basic. This is the default animation that it comes with. You can see it's very cute. This is done on 8 slides, so 8 individual movements, and then you can also add in sound effects or a voiceover. You could add a background. So it's a very fun, really simple. I just played around it with half an hour and was able to create a beating heart and then the seasons growing. So it's the sort of thing our students created, fish eating bigger fish and that sort of. So, you can do it for showing off the life cycle. You can do it to show the way a cell grows and divides. There's lots of really fun uses for this.
What's this application called?
This one is called Animation HD, and this one was free.
Do you do all the drawing inside of it, or do you?
Yeah, so you can actually do all of the drawing right inside of this app. So if you wanted to, I don't know my stylus, but you can do like a heart, and then you can make a new screen and do a bigger heart, which makes it really fun. Oops, sorry.
And will it do the filler frames for you? Is that what's happening?
So this is showing behind what I had previously,
All right.
Wow.
so that you can build
Great.
on it, which is really fantastic.
And you can import pictures?
Yeah, so you can import pictures, you can do layers. I mean, it's really fancy, and we never got that fancy in our class. But yeah, you can do things like layers, you can do the backdrop, you can put audio, you can do, if you've ever heard of Foley. Foley is where you're like on a soundstage making noise with objects that probably, so if you're doing like footsteps, you might use bricks or something. Squeaking, maybe Windex on a window, and it actually lets you record and import those into this app. So it's a full service app, which is really fun and fantastic. So our students had a really good time sort of playing, and they were learning a lot of stuff without ever realizing they were learning, because they were just having so much fun playing with the iPads.
Sweet.
Do you guys have any questions about that or anything else?
So what were the 4 themes that you gave to them?
The
4 themes that you gave?
Oh, the themes for our 30-minute movie, it was a while ago, let's see. I think we did, one was zombies have invaded the earth. They were really silly themes. They weren't intended for learning around the theme. They were intended for experiencing creating a movie, and we didn't want to spend a lot of time researching the details. Another one was about finding your long lost love. There were a couple silly things like that. And so they rolled with it. We had one group, they were in Tish and they found their Tish crush, and they got really carried away, and I'm sorry that I don't have the videos anymore to show you guys. Although, I promise you they were cute.
I'm sure.
You done?
I'm done.
So once they created their animation, what were the export options for this, and how did they?
We didn't export because we had VGA cables. We just hooked up right in the classroom and just showed them off.
Okay. All right. But could you, so you could do a little animation, export it, and then include that in your, say, your iMovie sequence?
Yeah,
Okay.
you could. We just didn't have the need to in our classroom.
It's what's really cool about this is that we quite often get requests from faculty who want some kind of animation done for them, and there's nowhere else for them to go, you know, to get these. So if you could sketch something up easily in this thing.
Yeah, this is a fantastic one.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's really fun to play with. I can pass my iPad around if you guys want to play around with making it. When I first got the app, I spent about 6 hours just playing with it because it's really fun.
So I was looking up, there's $3, and is that the version you've got?
This one I got was free.
That's the free version, okay.
That's like
Although I get a lot of the apps go on free ones, so it may have been that I downloaded it on a free day. I
Right,
can't
yeah.
remember.
Yeah. Well, it's $3 otherwise.
True, it's not expensive.
Yeah.
There are other ones out there,
Okay.
but a lot of them are just really confusing.
Yeah.
I've had so many buttons, and this one does, but you can use it at a really low level.